Crypto Kids, I have some massive breaking news. The price of crude oil is down 10% in less than 24 hours, which means the price of Bitcoin is up. It's sitting at 78,200. Am I excited? Am I happy? Absolutely. But am I FOMOing in? Absolutely not, because 77, 78 was exactly the price range we said Bitcoin has to reach and then successfully break above in order to see more goodness. And I think there's a chance we do it. I just believe that it's important you watch what I have to say because we're at a pivotal point in world geopolitics. Things are going for the good, and I'm very happy about that. And we need to do some serious talk about what are the next few steps that Crypto Kid personally sees when it comes to Bitcoin. We will go over the S&P 500. We will go through everything that President Trump stated, and believe me, there was a lot that has been said. And we will conclude the video off with the macro news. So, guys and girls, if those topics sound interesting, and if by the end of this video you learned something which helps you in your trading and in your investing journey, then please do me a favor and destroy the like button. You have no idea how much it helps us with our reach. So if you can destroy the like button, honestly, it would be fantabulous. And if you're not subscribed to the Crypto Kid channel yet, do subscribe for daily price analysis and daily news content. On Sunday, I have a bit of a surprise for you. We've done something that no other crypto channel in this world has recorded before. Super entertaining, super informative. Stay tuned on Sunday because you're going to love what we're going to post Sunday night. All right, let's begin with the Bitcoin price analysis. So 77.78, why was it important in the first place? Well, number one, you have the bear flag resistance. So we're exactly at that bear flag resistance. We're still in the bear flag technically, even though Bitcoin is pumped so much. This is the point of resistance it is facing. Then you have what some argue is a W pattern on the weekly, and I definitely believe that it is a W pattern. You're flirting with its neckline, you're just over it, okay? Thirdly, you have the bull and bear market support resistance, which when you go to the price history for Bitcoin, you will notice that within bear markets, and Bitcoin is in a bear market, proved by the fact that we're in a bearish trend on the weekly, you can see that in prior cycles during the bear markets, Bitcoin has gotten rejected from the bull and bear market support band various times. That's the cycle before us. And then if you go to the cycle before that one, you will notice that especially in 2018, you've seen multiple retests and rejections, leading to one final catastrophic dump. And then, of course, this is the Q4 midterm year. The low is made and you start pumping back towards the upside. Even in the Genesis cycle, Bitcoin experienced many retests, then rejections from the bull and bear market support band during the bear market. So we're seeing something similar. Of course, the rejection part hasn't been done yet, but I got to point out to you that it is very key resistance, and Bitcoin is hitting that as we speak right now. Some other additions to why 77.78 was important. You can zoom out, go to the weekly, go to the multi-cycle time frame. You will figure that there is a multi-cycle now resistance line 2 at exactly 77.78. So there are many reasons why this level is important, meaning that if it's successfully broken to the upside, I think we will get a large price swing upwards. And I want to give you that target. And I want to tell you what I'm doing with my personal trading, how I am treating this current situation that I see. A few more things on the 4-day time frame. If we look at Consensio, my favorite moving average trading system, it combines the 30 simple, the 7 simple, and the 3 simple. The 30 simple is also giving us resistance. So is the parabolic SAR. I know it looks like we fired a bullish signal here, but in 1 day and 8 hours, Bitcoin has to close as it is in order for this to be true. Okay, so now that we have a look, we looked at all the facts. Now we got to go into, okay, what is the best way for at least Crypto Kid to be trading what he sees? I need to make one thing clear. We're in a bear market. Okay, so being more bearish is of course more positive in the bear market, but we also need to understand that we're close to the time frame of which Bitcoin identifies its lows. A key determinant of when a bear market becomes concluded are the EMA ribbons on the weekly. When Bitcoin is able to break above its weekly EMA ribbons, right after facing resistance so many times during the fall, during the capitulation, when resistance is turned into support, it's a very good sign that now we have actually started this massive rally towards the upside. Bitcoin is still facing resistance. I think if 78 is broken upwards, if 78 is broken up, and this weekly candle closes actually in the next 1 day and 8 hours, because when we look at Consensio, when we look at Parabolic SAR, we're analyzing the 4-day time frame. We're not analyzing the weekly candlesticks. If in 1 day in 8 hours this Parabolic SAR fires bullish and we are above the 30 simple moving average, which would mean we're above $78,000, I predict that Bitcoin goes into the 83, 84, 85, like I've been stating before. I think that is the level we would go to. And I think if we were to reach 83, 84, 85, we find resistance, we establish a lower high and actually get rejected, create a lower low, find the bear market low towards Q4, which is when we usually find the low, and then start moving towards the upside. You're going to say, CryptoKid, are you crazy? The S&P is hitting new all-time highs. Shouldn't Bitcoin do the same? No, I personally believe that the S&P and Bitcoin will have a divergence in between the two, which will result in a tougher 2027 correction for the S&P 500. Another reason that I can give you evidence with for why I anticipate a revisit to 60Ks will be seen is just simply conducted by the bull and bear market support band. Shout out to Benjamin Cowan for pointing this out in his video earlier on this afternoon. If you go to March 2028, you will see that in February of the midterm year, that's the year that we're in currently, Bitcoin from an all-time high goes down by 70% and establishes a low in February of midterm year. Look at what Bitcoin has done. Fine, we didn't crash by 70%, but we still crashed by 51% from the all-time high, 52%. Where was the low made? February of the midterm year. Following that low, what does Bitcoin do? Bitcoin pumps, okay? Bitcoin sees a rally, and following that rally, it sees another drop, but this time the drop is a higher low, higher low. What did Bitcoin do in 2026? It saw a rally from the Feb low, dropped, created a higher low, giving people the anticipation that we continue moving to the upside and the worst is over. But after creating that higher low, when Bitcoin pumps again, it gets rejected from the bull and bear market support band, and Bitcoin revisits the lows that it created in February when we hit June. You trade around it and boom, eventually Bitcoin goes lower than the Feb lows towards Q4. Now, of course, this doesn't exactly have to happen, but nothing is perfect. I mean, there's no way of predicting for 100% what's going to happen next. We can only speculate based off of what we've seen in previous cycles that have been accurate, because Bitcoin does the same thing over and over again, most oftentimes. And I think this could be an accurate estimation. Now, Bitcoin's rejection doesn't have to be exactly at 78. It could even come in at 83 and it would still make sense. But this would be the base case that I'm looking out for. Now, does this mean that I'm not buying Bitcoin and I think it's a smart idea to be selling Bitcoin? No, I think that is the stupidest thing to be doing. And I don't want my audience to believe that I'm a bear on Bitcoin. I don't want people to think that, because I'm not. 80% of my liquid net worth is situated in Bitcoin. 80% of my net worth is in Bitcoin. So a person that wants Bitcoin to flourish, I think that Bitcoin will go to millions of dollars per coin. And I'm consistently buying up more and more and more Bitcoin. That's what I do. And I personally believe it is stupid to be selling now. And I think the smartest thing to personally be doing is accumulating more. You look at the macro news and you understand that a $12 trillion asset manager who goes by the name of Charles Schwab just began the integration of providing access soon to Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. You're looking at Morgan Stanley, America's or one of the world's largest banks, launching their own Bitcoin ETF, accumulating $100 million in the first week. the largest US mortgage player launching Bitcoin backed loans. Like, you are in an environment where everything is going into a great direction. When Bitcoin had its bear market in the last cycle, we didn't have bullish sentiment. Those same institutions who are now bullish on Bitcoin at the bottom of the bear market were criticizing Bitcoin and crypto, saying it failed in 2018 and in 2021. Remember FTX? Remember Luna? Remember this crash? Right? Everyone was attacking crypto. That's not happening today. Today, in the bear market, people are building, innovating, investing capital, creating more products. It's a completely different environment. I understand people who sold here, but I don't understand people that sell here. So for me, right now is the time to be accumulating. Right now is the time to be buying. If you want to be doing that and you want to be helping support the channel, you can check out the links in the description down below to get the best bonuses available when you sign up to the cryptocurrency exchanges that we are partnered with. If you're looking for a place to be buying Bitcoin for the first time, check out the Bybit link, because here you can buy crypto using credit card and Apple Pay. If you want to be trading crypto weeks, BTCC, you can trade things like crude oil, things like gold. You can trade the S&P 500, LAVX2, you can trade crypto, but BTCC is where you will find TradFi products. Check the links down in the description if you want to get access to the volatility. So in summary, this is my understanding. This is where I think Bitcoin is at. This is what I'm doing from my positionings. I'm ignoring the FUD-like people switching away from Bitcoin mining to AI. Why? Because Bitcoin is a self-correcting system. If the hash rate is reduced, then the profit margins for mining Bitcoin will reverse back into being more profitable than to go and put your compute into AI. We're seeing headlines such as Bloomberg, Goldman's Bitcoin ETF push signals Wall Street taming of crypto. You're seeing, I think this is, I don't know who this is, but the cheapest Bitcoin ETF yet. Morgan Stanley uses 14 basis point fee to draw in $100 million in first week. CNBC, Charles Schwab to launch direct Bitcoin Ether trading to compete with Robinhood. Wall Street Journal, how a 233-year-old Wall Street institution went all in on crypto. These are things that we're seeing at the bottom of the bear market. Okay, we're seeing Pakistan just lift a ban on cryptocurrency services and a notice that it's sent to all banks and financial institutions. Now, 259 million people have access to crypto. These are things that are happening in the bear market bottom. We never see this. We absolutely never see this. So I am bullish on Bitcoin for the long term. In the short term, can we see a rejection? Sure, but it's just an opportunity to consistently be adding to my Bitcoin stack. That is how I personally see it. What is it that President Trump stated? Well, President Trump said many things. He said that Iran has just announced that the Strait of Iran is fully open and ready for full passage. It's pretty funny because not so long ago, President Trump called now the Strait of Iran the Strait of Trump, which is the Strait of Hormuz. I think it really does depend on his moods. This is what the Iranian embassy in Zimbabwe stated. He also said that the Strait of Hormuz is completely open and ready for business and for full passage, but the Navy will still be there until a 100% deal is made with Iran. There is no long-term deal that has been signed off. We're going a good de-escalatory approach, but there is no, unfortunately, long-term deal that has been agreed to. Hopefully this weekend they come together and they decide on a long-lasting deal. According to Zero Hedge, Trump has said there will be more talks this weekend regarding a long-term Iran deal, but things seem to be going in a good direction. The foreign minister of Iran said that thanks to the ceasefire in Lebanon that has been confirmed in Washington, they have indeed opened the Strait of Hormuz. Shipping companies like Maersk are waiting for the mines to be cleared up, and then vessels will start passing through once again. President Trump called today a great and brilliant day for the world, and that Iran has agreed to never close the Strait of Hormuz again. We don't know if this is true. I don't think it is. If there is some sort of, military operation again, I don't think that Iran would keep it open. But if Trump says that today's a brilliant day for the world, I think it's a good signal that they are going into the direction of having a long-term deal. Trump says that Iran agreed to suspend nuclear program indefinitely. We don't have confirmations from Iran whether that's the case or not. So all we can do is pray that they find a long-term peace deal and they do it as soon as they can, which would be this weekend. Guys, that concludes today's update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, again, please do make sure to destroy the like button. Thank you all, and see you all very soon tomorrow. Bye-bye.